Good morning. Oh, I'm gonna pop my back. Good morning. How you doing? I haven't gone live because I'm going through a lot right now. I'm not gonna lie. I got a lot of shit going on. And it's a lot. But anyway, I'm just waiting for everything to pass. But I do watch just to get my mind off of my reality, I guess, right? Okay, so I wanted to talk about something. I haven't put a title yet. I'll put it when I'm done. Um, but it's basically about the webs. Okay, I shared a short of the webs on vacation uh, for Ryan's birthday. But I wanted to mention something to Miss Livy. That was supposed to be Olivia's vacation, right? She said we might be going somewhere for my birthday. Her ex-husband was going to take her on a trip. So, first of all, when I saw that the Instagram lives, right, Nisha and Gerard, happy family, I was like, what that's Olivia's trip, is what I was thinking, right? But then I'm thinking in my mind when he was pillow talking with her and he was, telling her basically what she wanted to hear, um, because he was trying to get in them pants or vice versa, whatever. Um, like that trips like that usually take like a little bit to plan, right? You know, so he wasn't lying about the trip. What he was lying about was taking Liv, because Antonisha planned that trip. He knew about that trip more than likely already, um, when he was fucking around with Liv, because you plan things in advance, right? So that everybody can go, and it looks like they had some company. I believe family is there. So this trip was planned months in advance, in my opinion. Um, so there was a trip. He just wasn't going to take her. And for what reason? I don't know why he told her he was going to take her when he knew the whole family, like he was taking other family too. So that's fucked up. Okay, I'm not going to lie. That's fucked up for Liv, for him lying and saying that just to, I don't know, get on her good side or whatever, right? Or maybe it was to hold her off because I don't know. But or the other option is they took this trip as like a PR stunt, right? To make it look like everything is well and dandy. But I don't think so, because they take trips all the time. Um, so I don't know. They usually don't film too much during it. I did notice that. Sometimes we'll see them leaving and coming back. I don't know. I can't really remember like their other trips, but I know when they were on that cruise, they did like one video of them drinking, and that was it. Right? Them leaving, bye to the babysitter. I don't remember exactly. I could be wrong, but that's fucked up. And as a woman, I do feel for her, but I mean, that's kind of what you're asking for when you're messing around with a married man. I mean, that's just how it goes. You can't really take what they're saying for certain, because they're always going to go back to the wife, right? Because they're married. Hello, like why would they get married if they didn't feel any loyalty towards that woman, right? Which is Antonisha. But um, I don't know. Like I just feel like that was kind of fucked up for him, unless she's just lying completely and they were talking and he said, we're going on a trip, Ryan, we're going to take her so and so for her birthday. Because, when you're co parenting, you do run things by the other parent, because it was going to be her summer with the kids, the whole entire summer. So he might have told her about the trip and said it was going to be for Ryan, and she just flipped it around and said it was going to be for her birthday. which, because their birthday is like around the same time. I believe Gerard is a Cancer too. I'm not too sure, but it's Olivia, and I wanted to clarify something too. It's not so much like I don't believe Gerard would sleep with her. Okay, the thing with me is I didn't believe it went as deep as it went. Like I think it was just a fuck and that was it, and she just added everything else along with it. And no, I did not believe it at first. Um, it did take some, like it did take some convincing, and I was like, whatever, like I don't know, because it's because you'd have to believe Liv. The video she submitted, I'm looking at the video. It kind of made it might be Gerard, but I don't know. Do you see Gerard for certain in the video? I don't, and that's what I'm gonna go by. I'm gonna go by the evidence that I see. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, I don't. I don't see Gerard in that video, and that's all the video she has. But you know, she has all these cameras in her house. If she would have taken audio, she would have taken video. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So it's the lack of evidence of it all, right? For me, that's why I didn't believe it, because you have to put your trust in her word, and she's lied so many times, right? So that's why I was up, like on the fence about it. Also, what do you call it? The whole thing about, I know there's some issues going on about paying for drama, right? Paying fatigue. Should we or should we not? Why is one person the spokesperson and nobody else can get the information? I never really thought of it like that. I never really thought about it, didn't really think too much of it, didn't think about, well, what about everybody else getting information? I never really thought about that. But that is a valid question. Like, why is it just one person because if you tell, it's like telephone. If you tell somebody something, they're gonna retell the story in their way to benefit them. It's like we have to have more than one opinion, right? And the information is out there. It's a public story. Why not give somebody else a piece of information as well? Because two different people might read it differently, or might, and they have a history. The reason I think that's the person Antonisha chose for that is because they're arch nemesis. I mean, Liv and Yanni have had beef for a long time. Even though they say there's no beef or whatever, there's beef. There's emotion. Okay, there's a lot of emotion involved in the storytelling. Okay, so don't tell me it ain't that big when it is that big. Okay, I have eyes, I can see. Okay, um, so I believe that's why that person is chosen for to retell the stories or to feed information to, is because of that. And I don't think it's just one person. I do believe it's several people. It might be like relatives, it might be like neighbors, it might be, I think it's a lot of people, because the way the way she be talking, like, come on now. The way she talks, like, come on. It's Yeah, the way she delivers her messages is something else. Okay. So that's what I believe. Okay. I believe it's more than one person. I don't think it's just Antanisha. I do think Antanisha does tell her things, and now more than ever, she's going to. They don't have any pending court cases right now, so it's not like it's going to affect anything right now. Before, yeah, that's why it was a secret, but now it's not such a big deal because she's not taking them to court. She's too busy thinking about her body and getting her body done and all that stuff. So she's not thinking about obtaining, some sort of fucking lawyer or anything like that to get her children back. She's not. She doesn't even call them. Like, come on. Like, she is not trying to get those kids back. But anyhow, I'll see y'all later. I don't know if I'll go live again today because, like I said, I'm going through some shit right now. But anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.